Right, fellow investor. I am really glad to be back with you on this latest episode. It has been far too long, too many months of silence and no episodes. So I am really glad to be back and share kind of what's been going on and why there was such a long break. Because I had a major issue, which we're going to get into. And if you've dealt with it before, you'll really relate to it. If you haven't dealt with it yet, I'm sure you will. You'll get there. So, really, the background, if you remember how I got my start, I was a high school English teacher and then I was a missionary in Kenya. And I have always had this passion for teaching and encouraging and helping others. So that's always what has motivated me and what I've enjoyed. Well, I got my start in real estate because we came back from Kenya for furlough and had health issues with our youngest son and couldn't return to Kenya. And I needed to figure out a way to pay bills. And so real estate was the easiest, fastest way. I don't know if I should say easiest, but it was the fastest way to make money and pay bills and provide for my family. And so that's really why I got started in real estate. Once I went down that path, I realized really or got a glimpse of what the potential was in real estate and what we could create. And so we set a bunch of goals early on, and I broke those goals into three categories. It was security, comfort, and wealth. And I think that was from one of Kiyosaki's books, Retire Young, Retire Rich, maybe. So if you haven't read that, check that out. It's a good one. So I had these goals, right? And we needed to accomplish certain things to feel secure, to feel like I could pay the bills, pay employees, all those really nice things, keep the heat on at the house, feed the kids, those things that are really important. And then we had some goals that we wanted to achieve to reach a level of comfort, right? To have some extras, to have trips and travel and all the other things that we wanted. And then we threw out these big goals and said, if we accomplish those goals, we would be wealthy. And those goals included numbers that we, threw out for net worth and numbers for cash flow and a description of how I could work from anywhere and we could travel as much as we wanted. And one of those someday goals was to buy a farm. That my wife and I had talked since we'd been married. Someday we were going to buy a farm. And so those were the goals we were really basing all our effort on for these years. And somehow, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but when you put your head down and you start working and hustling and running forward, you end up making progress faster than you even think. So a lot of those goals we said were, big 20-year goals. And in January, we took possession of our farm, and we had already blown past all of our goals for net worth and cash flow, and we had the staff and systems, and I could work largely from anywhere. And all of a sudden, we had surpassed all of those original goals that we had. And so we did a lot of really fun things, to kind of celebrate. We did a big adventure in South Africa. We traveled as a family for over a month in the spring, and did a bunch of projects on the farm and enjoyed the farm. We continued to buy real estate, and the business continued to grow largely because of the systems that we had in place and the staff. And I had, if you remember the last podcast episode, it was all about how to really succeed and thrive in 2022. And largely you need a business vision and to know where you're going. And I had a business vision, but it really was just based on our current numbers at the time and taking those further, which is all fine and dandy, except once we hit those goals that I was really passionate about from the start, I realized that numbers and money weren't really my primary motivators. And so once those weren't really an issue. And our life really wasn't going to change all that much if we had more of it, or when we had more of it. I lacked motivation, and I really wasn't, really committed to that vision. And, real estate takes a lot of effort and hustle, and creating anything takes a lot of effort and hustle. And without that motivation, it's difficult. And so I kind of floundered really with deciding, what on earth am I building from here? And what am I really working towards? And so, thankfully we had enough systems and everything that the business is still growing. Everything's doing very well. It was just my passion that was lacking. And so I did, we enjoyed a lot of things, like I said, and did a lot of reflecting and worked on some things that I haven't worked on that have been on the back burner for years, one of those being health. And so that was always something that I've struggled with and always said, someday I'll get to it. So I've lost quite a bit of weight and getting healthier and trying to make that a priority. Have an accountability call every morning where all of us on there, we have to get our steps in, and accountability is a huge factor in that. And so just working on some other things, which are all vitally important. I just didn't make it into that business vision that I had. And so in that reflection time, I've really been trying to figure out, clarify, what is a business vision that I will be passionate about, right? Where am I going from here that I get up every morning and I'm fired up and I really am excited for the day and ready to get after it? And part of that is real estate. We'll still continue to grow our real estate and grow our business, right? It's provided something amazing for us. The opportunities in real estate I cannot see anywhere else. And I believe real estate and the business, the way we have it structured, really serves a lot of people, which is in that area that I'm passionate about, right? We get to serve sellers who have a house that they're struggling to sell or believe they can't sell in its current condition. We get to serve lenders who are looking for a really good investment secured by real estate, diversifies their portfolio. There's a whole bunch of benefits there. And we get to serve tired landlords who still want monthly income, but don't want the headaches of day-to-day management of their property, right? They're getting past that stage where they want so much interaction, but they still like that income. And we can serve them really well and provide them with a solution. And we provide people a great place to live and a good company to interact with. And so it really is a great way to serve a lot of people. But I realize that our real estate business does not need me in it day in and day out, and that my gifts can be better served elsewhere. And so what I am really passionate about, and always have been passionate about, is teaching, coaching, helping other people, right? Being an encourager and helping others get from where they are to where they want to be. That's what really fires me up and gets me going in the morning. And so I have redone my business vision. And so it still includes real estate, but it includes a much heavier portion of my time getting to help others grow their real estate business. And so one of my large new goals is that I want to help 1,000 people grow their real estate portfolio without having to rely on banks. So I'm going to help others just like you grow their portfolio by raising money from private lenders and buying deals with seller financing, because those are the two tools that I use to grow my portfolio. And the group coaching that I'm doing right now is all about private money. And every week, students are coming in with interactions they've had with private lenders and discussions and deals they're working on. And that is super exciting for me. I love that. And every week, our mastermind, the Elevate Mastermind, we're talking about creative deal structure and how to grow our business and how to manage what we have and all of those key components, key parts of building a real estate business. And so I'm really going to grow that and focus on that while we're continuing to grow the real estate business. So if that is something you would like to do, if you really want to build a portfolio, whether it's so that you can leave your W-2 job, whether it's just as an investment on the side and you love your job and you want to keep it, or if it's something that you just want to grow it over time someday for retirement, whatever your motivation is, if you are looking for assistance with that, reach out to me. Send me an email, chad@truewealthinvestors.com, or send me a message on Facebook. I'd be glad to talk to you and see if there's a way I can help you get from where you are today to where you want to be, because that's really what excites me. And I really want to see results in your life and in your business. So if that interests you, reach out to me and I'd love to talk. We have a whole bunch of episodes coming up. I have a great interview with Eric, a member of our mastermind group. He shares really some key lessons he's learned as he's grown his business, and he just fulfilled a major dream of his and moving to Florida full time. And we have a whole bunch of great content coming up. I've got an interview with my oldest son coming up, which I know you'll really enjoy. And so stay tuned. Definitely, if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you each and every week. All right, we'll talk to you soon.